Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred, and in this episode I would like to continue playing the wizard together with my wife in this season 14. And like I said in my last video before, this time around I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning of the journey rather than towards the end when I do a higher riff together with my wife or friends, like I've done it a couple of times in the past. So I found that leveling experience as well as the gearing experience is one of the best thing in the whole Diablo 3, because when you're leveling you can still mess around with different abilities. When you are gearing up you get excited, and each gear that you found may modify your build a little bit, but once you get into that zone of end game, then you really have that top build or high tier build to follow, and you'll follow to the gear, you can follow to all the affixes and so on. It's not really a lot of flexibility there, and you have to keep playing the same build again and again and again, right? Now, as you can see, my wife is Paragon level 1. Yes, and I'm Paragon level 8 because while she was watching World Cup. It was I don't know which against what, Germany versus, well, anyway. So while my wife was watching World Cup last night, I had one game of Rift, normal Rift. It was really hard as a fresh 60 with the leveling gear. So I'm going to be in the Master. Master is actually quite low. It's actually the 4th one. It's not Torment yet, but because my wife is just a fresh 60 with Paragon level 1, so I'm not going to do a Torment as yet. I struggle a fair bit on the Master, but I could finish it, so that is the good news of it. And by doing so, I managed to upgrade at least I think 2 of my gear. One of them is a weapon. I hope that would be a very good kind of thing to do, but I'm not sure whether I can carry my wife or not, because she's really a fresh 60, and and of course when you first come to 60, and because of the season journey, as and when you complete the 2nd chapter, you get some items like for example, I have this glove as well as this helm, but as you can see, I mean, I don't really have the kind of currency to change the affixes. Had I have the currency to change it, I would actually probably modify the Way of Force, which I'm not using. But just take a look at the DMO set that for this season 14 wizard is given. Set 2, is kind of like prescribed in some sense. I'm not encouraging my wife to follow this build so far because I don't think she liked this build, and I'm more encouraging her to go for the top build, which is the missile, arcane missile, and the meteor kind of thing. But that's for the later days. So as you can see, I mean, arcane orb, blah blah blah, explosive blast, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So is to interact with slow time. Slow time is an interesting kind of concept. You get a bubble here, and then everything here gets slowed down. And it's rather interesting to see as well. I haven't played any ARPG that was able to slow things within. I mean, even the projectile, you can see that spinning very slowly. So I thought it was really interesting. And this build also centered around this interesting elemental exposure, which is like if you are doing different type of like whether it's arcane, cold, fire, lightning, you actually take more damage. The enemy take more damage. So my build is kind of I started off with my own, but after that I sort of look into what Icy Vein is doing, and I kind of like, well, yeah, kind of makes sense, so I kind of follow, But what it does is that I have a frozen orb. My signature power, they call it, in Marvel Heroes is basic, but it's Diablo 3's signature. It's a lightning. Then you have the arcane is a black hole, and then explosive blast, which has to be in melee range, is fire, and so on and so forth. And there is a storm armor as well. But I think in this video I'm not going to do a full kind of build, because I found that as I level up, it's actually very hard to do it. So what I'll do is that I'll do the teleport instead, which I'm going to do a safe passage, which receive lesser damage. If once I gear up, I'll definitely think about doing the black hole instead. All right. So now, kind of enough talking. But before I go on, I'd like to at least do something about the I can't really do a lot can I keep kind of thing. I don't really have a lot of very interesting thing that I could use. But I think what I'll do, well, this is like the crown is there. Okay, so what I'll do is that as you started off the Fresh 60, you have this like Kanai cube. So what you do is to extract the power, which I'll kind of do that. I don't really have a lot of like mats here, so I only have 3 items. So I have to choose it quite wisely. But I think I'll just go along with this first. Right, so that will become something that I could use. And then after that, I can have another one as well, which is the crown. Sorry, I thought I did that. What do I need to do? Transmute or oops? Yeah. All right. So that would be the crown as well. But it's not going to make a big difference because from a build wise, I should do something different now. So that's it. I'm just over 300 odd K damage. My wife is having. Let me see. My wife is 195. So as you can see, this is going to be rough. But in any case, we will do our best to just to entertain you guys, I guess. I mean, we are all noobs. And as you can see, the character move very, very slow as well. So I'm just going to open the rift here. I'm going to on my armor as well, or the storm armor. So I hope my wife remember to on her armor as well. The number 3, which is the... Yep, so I'm just reminding my wife. And let's just go in here to start to have fun here. Now, snow time. Let me see. So here is where you can slow time, and then you can do explosive blast. Then I go up here. Then after that, I can slow time some more. I mean, you can have multiple ones. It's rather fun, but it's not going to be very, very fast. And I mean, that's besides the point, I think. And so make sure I have enough resource as well, because this build is very resource intensive. Visual wise is fantastic. A bit of melee range for the explosive to work. Other than that, there's a shield somewhere. I think I need to bring my wife back here. So there's a shield. So with a shield, then that's not really a big deal. I mean, things become quite straightforward. I can tank the whole thing. Where is the boss? He is here. So I just continue to have this slow time explosive. So this is rather slow, but it's one below the torment. So yeah, I just want to complete this whole thing, because otherwise they'll keep following up and become rather annoying as well. Yeah, so I mean we made it. There's one more here. Nearly not making it. So we made it, but as you can see, it's not an easy task to do. So slow time and explosion, and the do a bit of shocking here and there. Yep, and that's about it. Graphical is fantastic. Like I said in my last video, the last time I played a wizard was like, I don't know, back in the when they first started, the vanilla Diablo 3. So yes, it was a very, very long time ago. So I have a lot of fun so far with the season. Well, as in any season really. I mean, because I have not been playing this like very intensively for a while. So but yeah. I mean, no interesting loot so far because the difficulties level is not really high. Go south, please. Cup. Take a look at the map. Yep, there's a pool of reflection. So explosion here. So there is I think there is elite somewhere, is it? I need to go a little bit melee range, a bit of lag here. He falls out of the thing, so frozen, arcane, so I just need to be careful.
I don't have enough arcane.
So I didn't know that it was
Not ready yet.
Okay, I think I better bring him out. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, it could be rather fun as well. I mean, even though you are like at a rather junior level in the journey, but it can be rather fun. A bit slower, different from the high risk kind of scenario. But nevertheless, I mean, at the end of the day, it is about gaining kind of progress in terms of gear, in terms of like Paragon and so on. So yeah, I mean, all for good fun, really. So the goal is to continue this, and after that I can play a little bit of Greater Rift, maybe get even more kind of gear that I can upgrade. And I try to get some Bloodshot as well, because that would help me with the set gear, because I need the set gear, and we need to get the right kind of like set items to get the set bonus. Legendary is important as well, so yeah. Let's move towards this side, I think. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, it's very arcane power intensive, so that is yet another dead end maybe? No, that's fine. Yeah, and we love the voiceover of the wizard. I mean, I like it for a different reason. I think my wife said that the voice acting sounds like what's the TV series again? Toast of London. So for those who are into British drama, TV drama, there's a TV drama called Toast of London. The main guy is called Stephen Toast, and it was hilarious. We loved the show a lot. Not quite sure how many of you have watching all these shows, but yeah, and the voice acting of a male wizard really sounds like Stephen Toast. Yeah, well, and every time when the characters speak, my wife have a kind of like good laugh about it. All right, so now let's just move on to next level. Halfway there, all these things are pretty hard earned in some sense, but sometimes for a gaming kind of thing, I mean, it's all right to be like hard earned. I think some of you offer to sort of like power level me and so on, which I of course very grateful. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, even playing with my wife here could be rather fun as well. In fact, although we are still not quite like sure about what build to use, and now I'm in deep trouble. And I got stuck here. I need help! Carp! Eat a help group. Yes, thank you. Yeah. This is tough, man. But of course, with our experience in High Rift and so on, all this, we kind of know what to avoid. We just have to put all the thing in practice. Yeah, sometimes it's like I don't know whether some of you can relate or not. Whether you watch motorsport, so some of, like for example, Alonso, as you know, he's probably one of the best driver, or most all-rounder driver. But he doesn't have a good car for F1, and he has not been really performing. But but he take every race as a challenge and try to do the best out from it. So yeah. I mean, if you're a little bit like that, although your character is not really having high gear, you're not having the highest number of like Paragon and so on, but you know that you're doing the best that you can, and and yeah, I mean, and it's just as challenging. Seriously, it's a different kind of challenge. The High Rift, like I could do a 88 or 90 with my Demon Hunter in the standard mode, but I mean, that is fun in some sense, of course, but what I'm doing here is still fun, at least to me, for the leveling and seeing what gear I have and so on. And I don't know, somehow this thing is really hard. Yeah, these are open area. You can slow down time, and I think all I need to do is just make sure that I keep popping the slow time and try not to aggro too many things and sort of like die. And I think I should walk backward instead of walking forward. Yep. Is there a elite somewhere? Maybe there is, huh? There is one, is it? Alright, okay. So, so that's done. So I don't know whether this will work or not, but I think I will not go for the top build. In fact, I would like to use this build as a support, and I'm more or less like a melee range, tanking the enemy in front while my wife would do the top build and DPS the thing down. I think that would be my aspiration for this season. Or if my wife spend too much time like watching World Cup, then now I'll probably have two builds. Like, you know, I'll collect two set of gears and the nice. So I can do a lot of like slow here because of the shrine. I think we should just like yeah. Whoa, this I can free cast, is it? There's no cost to it. Yeah, health globe, explosion, do some firepower, and the yeah, Paragon level, well, 12. Oh, I think the shrine effect is off. You can immediately see the difference. Whoa, don't get hit by this thing. Alright, so there's a slow and explosion, do a bit of shocks, do a bit of like ice, kind of like a frost thingy. I have no idea where the, oh, hang on. Where is the, oh, this is the one. I was trying to find the bosses. Yeah, funny. Oh, there's a sword. Maybe that's good for my wife, you know. Like even like having a legendary, you feel so happy. Yeah, but of course when you do a high rift, then things become rather. So I'm going to slow this thing down. It's kind of funny to see as well, because well, the bullet come to our thing will get slowed down. So like these are all slowed down. So you see the effect is phenomenon. It's a bit of positioning as well, but I have a lot of fun doing that. So long as I keep the whole thing on, and I think you see all this projectile is slowed down. It's very funny to see. Do a shot, Death Maiden, avoid that, and try not to. Have you aggro another elite somewhere? Like, I mean, boss fight, right, in Diablo, when it comes to end game, usually it's just the least memorable fight, because things just die so fast normally. But with our gear or lack of, it become a rather challenging fight. I have to dodge bullet, and I don't know what happened. I think there's another elite somewhere. So yeah, and all these things are being slowed. Look at this, man, fantastic. Yeah, I was just telling my wife this morning in the car about how the slow time works and how interesting it could be. So yeah, so that's done. I think there's another elite somewhere. I have to spend some of my thing. So yeah, I mean, with that said, it's done, and I'm going to probably spend some, going back and spend some shard. I'll show you my loot. I'm hoping to be able to get some good kind of upgrade. So I'm going to spend some shard first. Now, of course, what should I spend it on? Don't close it yet. What do I spend it on? I look at my gear, 61, 70, 61. I think probably a chest item is what I need the most right now. You see, my gears are pretty terrible, and hence the struggle. But it's okay. I mean, that was really fun. So I'm trying the chest item. If I get a set, I'll be rather happy. If not, then nothing lost. There is a oh, okay, fine. But I always use my primary resource anyway, so it's not really. But it's an upgrade. So I'm just going to try some other items, maybe like my feet item. Maybe if I can see another like set item to it, maybe not. So in that case, I'll just go back, get my shard. And now close the rift. All right, my hard-earned shard. Then we'll try to do a greater rift to get a legendary gem. Then let me just close this guy. So I was Paragon. I think my wife was Paragon level 1. Then after this is 8. Yeah, so it's not a big big jump. Of course, if someone carry you into like a T13 kind of like a rift, then yeah, then immediately you're pretty fantastic. But let's see what kind of loot I have and see what kind of upgrade I can do. I hope my wife has something to shout about as well. So I've got a one-hand weapon. Maybe I just try to give it to my wife and see whether she can use it or not. If not, then then we can think about what to do with it. There's an offhand that go along with it as well. Whoa, actually, the Light of Grace and so is it any good? No. How about this offhand? It's a level 70 offhand. So you can see whether the two of them together give you the kind of like a boost to your DPS. So now, yeah, you can compare. But other than that, I think besides the one that I've got so far, there aren't really anything that is memorable. Okay, so I've got boots that's better than kind of like what I have, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that you could get better gear to do that. Yeah. So the offhand, you keep it first, is it?
Yeah. Can I have it?
Yeah, sure, you can have it. So yeah, I mean, that's about it, and we'll go back in and try to upgrade some gear. Like right now, I can upgrade my chest, and so on. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching. I thought I've done a lot of video on Diablo more for end game. Is always like the same riff, but sometimes it does the struggle could be a rather reality when you try to level up your gear, level up your paragon point. But to me, it is really fun. All right, so I'll see you next time. Goodbye.